I thought I was gonna vomit. I was like, bleh.
Oh, were you like hurricane?
I was almost went into shock.
Really?
Yeah, but you know Ryan Arnold?
No.
He tattoos just really fast. And he uses bigger liners, and so I think his machine was just running so hot that it was just a lot.
You were getting electrocuted?
Yes.
Also?
It was a lot. It looks great though. It looks real hot.
Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
those that when you're done, it's like, oh, it looks great, but
Yeah, like this is amazing. I'm so happy I never have to see you again.
When I get my torso done, it's gonna be fine line,
Yes.
delicate, so that I don't.
Mine's with like a 3-liner and
that's
5
beautiful.
hours done.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It's not
Looks
done.
nice.
That was.
I want torso too.
Will at Electric Show.
Okay.
I want
Remember.
Kind of near. Yeah, we did a tattoo trade.
I want
nice.
Phoenix to tattoo my torso. Have you seen their work? It's like so soft.
We both did pretty good.
yeah.
I just want someone to just like whisper tattoo lines on my torso. I don't want them jabbed in.
A gentle breeze.
You should do like a giant American traditional like reaper. Just flat.
I could do a fern.
You could do a fern.
A fern would be.
Yeah, because
I love getting tattooed by other people because I'm like, I'm gonna use that now.
I invented this because this is so much easier to undress.
I usually tape it.
Yeah, tape works, but it's such a struggle to get it all off. So this way, all I gotta do is just grab it and the whole thing kind of like,
And I feel like it's more secure that way. Tape sometimes just doesn't.
it's not the most secure, but some people don't even use paper towels. Oops, no.
And then it's sticky.
I know. When people's sweat's getting everywhere. Okay. How's that feel?
Good.
Is that comfy?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a nap.
You're like that kind of party person? The 4 gauge.
Nice.
Super small. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tiny.
Okay.
I usually use these guys, which I've been loving. These are like $15 a box.
Okay.
As opposed to like $35, which
Yeah,
a
I
lot
like
of
the
brands go.
mass brand of needles.
Yeah.
And is that the same? The tight
Yeah. Yeah, but this is interesting. It looks fatter.
It does look a little bit fatter. Maybe one of them is just a little bit more open in the middle.
It does, yeah. It looks a little bit more wide.
Is one of them more tapered, maybe?
Maybe. Interesting. So this is this one. They look identical.
Weird.
The taper is 0.5 millimeters. Yeah.
Huh.
That's why I order these.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, maybe I like that more. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to use you as a guinea pig.
If anything, that'd be good for like stipple shading and stuff.
Yeah, I don't love how this squishiness is like flying everywhere though. I might just
Weird.
might
yeah.
throw that off.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's like you would never use that part of it anyway to hold it. So what's the point of that grip?
No, sometimes I do. I'll hold it like
I
down.
like put a finger
Oh,
on it,
I
but
guess,
feel like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that make it feel less secure.
Actually, I do hold. I just totally forgot how I hold the machine for a second.
Yeah.
It's like until you have it in your hand, you don't know what you're doing.
So. Yeah.
Like I've never held a machine in my life. I don't
Actually,
know.
I don't know how to tattoo.
Yeah.
I make that joke sometimes. Actually, it's my first day.
Are you using the packer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was using the critical torque. This is why I'm adjusting my throw because I haven't used the packer in like months. Because Chris randomly bought me another machine because it had like a feature that times your tattoo session.
Oh.
Because I'm always like, I don't know how long things take. So he's like, oh, I bought you this thing that will just time it. But that machine is dying.
Really?
Yeah. It's the other day I was like, I think this is maybe not a me problem. I think this is a machine problem.
Yeah.
And then I asked T to borrow their machine because I was struggling I was struggling really bad. And also I was just all in my head thinking that I was tattooing terribly. So I brought my Bishop back in.
Yeah.
So it works great.
I love
But it
my
has a
Bishop.
foot pedal?
It does. It connects to the battery.
Whoa. Okay, mine is just a push.
Yeah.
Mine is, too.
That works fine.
Yeah.
If you're not a flailing person like I am.
Yeah.
So the foot pedal, the fact that I can turn it on and off helps with that. Like a lot.
Okay.
It's annoying because it's Bluetooth and Bluetooth doesn't always want to work.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just like, hello. But I love that I can turn it on and off.
Yeah.
It's like a coil.
That's nice.
Yeah. All right, where are we going to start?
Oh.
Oh, look at these lines. They're so fat. Let's start down here. I'm going to start with this bulb. I never like to start on like the long straight lines because I'm like,
I need to warm up.
I have to warm up.
No, I feel you.
Yeah. So I'm also like using my old machine again. Oh, it's great. Yeah, the Packer's where it's at.
So you're using a new cartridge in an old machine that you haven't used in a while.
Yeah.
I am a guinea pig.
You are a guinea pig. Thank you. Yeah, when I don't have gloves on, I'll like show you my machine that's dying. It's like
She showed it to me. It's like rattly. Something
Yeah.
weird about it.
it has like a death
Whoa.
rattle. Yeah.
It's like, do you just send it into the company then to get it?
I
guess.
I'm curious. You bought it
Yeah. Yeah. They do have warranties.
for- How long have you had it?
Less than a year.
Then you probably could send it in.
Yeah.
It should be like a coil machine where you can send it in somewhere and it can get fixed. It's not like,
If it
Yeah.
doesn't get fixed, just send you a new one. 'Cause
Well, the nice thing about coils is that you could fix them yourself. And they're also made by just some guy in a garage.
Sure.
So you just
Yeah.
email that guy. Whereas like
Like,
this
for
is like a
a-
whole Yeah. Yep.
hey,
Paco.
Greg in New Jersey.
Yeah. My coils were made in Seattle. And I'm sure I could reach out to that guy, but I never use coils anymore.
still have coils.
Yeah. I used coils for like 2 years into tattooing.
And what machine speed do you like to pull your lines at? Or
I-
do you kind of set it, really?
Let's see.
With numbers?
It's usually like a 6.5.
Okay.
6.7.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but I will lower it down to a 5 if I'm doing like a swath of stippling
Sure.
because it
Yeah.
really slows down the dots and then you can go in all directions so it doesn't look like they're all going in a single direction.
Yeah.
So if you're going all over the place, it's got more of an even tone of stipples.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I do go down to like super low, like 5s, but only for like special shading.
Interesting how everybody uses different voltage.
Yeah,
I
what
like
do
I
you?
just got dialed into I like a 6.5 for pulling a line.
Yeah.
But before, I think I was running my machine way too slow.
Oh, what were you before?
I was trying to run it like at a 4, but I was so used to like
Yeah.
permanent makeup that I was trying to just like stipple everything in.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to change the way my brain works when it comes to tattooing. And it also wasn't depositing the pigment in a line, there was like little parts missing.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I'm at an 8.
you do.
8? Ooh.
Wow.
Do you use bigger needles or?
I use 3s.
Oh, dang.
But anytime I go less than an 8, it looks grayed out. Like it's gray wash. It doesn't pack as much in. So I just line it at 8. I also tattoo like
Really fast.
not like really fast, I feel like, but faster than a lot of people, I guess, because everybody's always like, oh my gosh, you're tattooing so fast. I'm like, I feel like I'm going slow. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like voltage is supposed to match like how fast you tattoo.
Sure.
You know, so if you're just flying everywhere, then it
You
does make
need it,
sense to go
yeah.
a little faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty slow.
Yeah, right now I'm pretty slow.
For like years, I was always going over like every line too.
Yeah, darken it up.
Yeah. Yeah, like the first pass was always so light.
Mm-hmm.
Does it sound like it's like making noises too?
No.
Do you hear
Yeah.
It just gets, I think when you turn it on, it's like,
that?
slows
Meow.
down. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's
It's been doing that
weird.
the entire time, but
Yeah. Does yours sound like that too?
I don't have a foot pedal, so mine's just consistently on.
Yeah,
True.
Mine is like once the button is on, it's just on.
It's just going. I feel like if mine's going all the time, it's the this moments, like just going over your hand. So if you like lift at all, that's when it's like, or I don't know. I guess I still do it, and it's when I'm like doing this kind of stuff, and my just hands in the way, or like this moment, like getting the little stuff off your hand.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm so happy that it's not running right now when I'm doing like all this
Yeah.
motion. Yeah, I guess I do really stabilize. I hold it like this.
See, we don't know until you're doing it.
Yeah, I don't know how I hold it.
Like until you hand me a machine, I don't know how I hold it. It's in my
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah. But I feel like sometimes I need to hold it with my whole bare paw if I'm like doing like a really long straight line. I need to like,
It also depends on the angle and stuff too. 'Cause I like
Yeah.
watching from all angles.
I do too. I'm always like,
Uh-huh.
Yep, I am the same way.
yeah. Because you can't just like, sometimes you need your whole arm to do a particular line.
I remember in school where I went, Captain Jack's, the teacher there told us that we needed to push all our lines to get them in and then pull for shading.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this feels weird, this feels wrong. And
Yeah.
then I like went home and watched YouTube videos and all this stuff, and I'm like, they're dying.
I know. I feel like that is a product of people who only use trad machines and fat needles. That's probably truly the best way to get those big fat 14 liners sunken in and straight. But that's not the case with fine line stuff.
And I was already doing mostly fine line in school. I mean, they wouldn't let me use anything less than a 5-liner in school.
Oh,
I think
wow.
they were afraid I was going to do something.
Oh, really?
And the second I got out of school, I bought 3s. I was like, no.
Yeah. That's weird. I would always go up to my instructor and like I'd have my design and I'd be like, what needles do I need this or use for this? And it was always 3. Always just do 3. Just do 3. But they were like
They were
12
trad
gauge.
threes?
3. Yeah, they weren't like tight 3s.
This is actually like a 5 or a 7 practically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it all depends on like the angle that you're working. Also, after you interviewed Chris, I was like, so how did the interview go? And he's like, she said yes. And I was like, okay.
Nice.
Good.
I know. I was super excited.
Yeah, me
It
too.
was like, I'm so ready for something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it felt like you'd been, like, I heard that you were in that shop for like a long time,
I know.
like a whole year.
I like to be abused. No, I'm just being dramatic.
Yeah.
But I will stay somewhere a little too long sometimes.
Yeah.
Where do you
And
work out of right now?
St. Rose. But, you know, I think I just, we're just different types of people, and I just haven't fit in there.
Yeah.
And so I like the vibe here, and everybody's been so friendly so far, even though I haven't. It's been like my second day of being
Yeah.
here, but I'm like, this feels so good.
Yeah. It is really nice here.
It feels like
Yeah.
people genuinely
Yeah.
have a nice time together, so
Yep.
that's cool.
Yeah.
It's not like going to school and trying to chat with mean girls, you know?
Ugh, I hate Mean Girls.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. Nice.
Yep, no mean girl energy, please.
Yeah.
We do a little bit of mean girl in this.
Oh yeah.
in Birdhouse. Not at present.
Depending on the attitude, it might not be for much longer.
Nice. As long as it's not the majority.
It's not the majority.
Yeah.
No.
Like, Northeast shop where I work at, it's like, most of us are just like all gabbing in the back about like life or clients or just what we're doing that day, and like it's very casual and like very non-drama filled at all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, until recently that shop has been like
We're just chill.
so like just self-sufficient. Every time I go over there I'm like, oh, it's so nice here.
We're playing like good music.
Yeah. Everyone's so chill, and like everyone's actual friends there. I mean,
Yeah,
people are
that's
friends
cool.
here too, but it's just a very tight-knit feeling there.
Yeah.
Like we hang out outside of work and
Yeah.
always like grab coffees and stuff from next door and just like hang out.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
We do that sometimes here, but we're just like, we tend to be very busy here, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
just as long as people are nice and genuine, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah. I think it's important for people to like, you know, we don't have to all be best friends.
No,
you know?
yeah.
There's definitely like a whole variety of types of people here. But I think actually that's what makes it work. We've had in the past drama happen in groups where everybody is sort of like a single organism, all
little
thinking
too
together.
invested.
Yeah. And I think it's actually better that we have a variety of people types. And that also means that, like, you know, you might be, your coworker might not be like somebody that you would choose as a friend, but you just start by being professional.
Mm-hmm.
Just start by being nice, and then people are like growing on each other and like kind of like adopting each other like little puppies in ways.
Little puppies and kittens.
Yeah. It's really cute. It's really good to watch and witness.
I feel like it's always cool too because like everybody's coming from like different areas of life, of
Yeah.
just like having different backgrounds for sure and stuff. So like everyone has like something different to bring to the table. So,
Yeah.
like, you get a wide variety of knowledge and stuff.
Yeah.
On various subjects.
Yep. The first time we had like just a cis dude at Birdhouse, some people kind of freaked out about it, but he has ended up being like the most wonderful, like helpful tattooer here. He's the one who does the after the continuing education classes. Yeah, Ryan. And I just think that's so ironic. Like, people had kind of a hard time at first when they were like, what? A man at Birdhouse? And he's like, everyone just like is so thankful to have him now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to also just be around other like tattooers and find
Yeah.
inspiration and just, you know, even just different techniques or asking
Yeah.
about machines or needles or
Uh-huh.
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Even with, like, my boyfriend comes from more of a traditional background, so sometimes
Yeah.
when I ask him about certain design things,
Yeah.
he's like, that line needs to be way thicker or shade, you know, this
Yeah.
much shading off of this, and it's just like, well, I don't know if they want it like that.
Yeah. I know, I was actually thinking about you yesterday and how, like, it's great that you have a partner who's a tattooer.
Mm-hmm.
However, styles really make a huge difference in
Oh, yeah.
technique. Like, I have no idea how to use a 14 round liner.
No.
Like, no idea, other
Yeah.
than maybe like filling in an area with all black. But like making a straight line with even a 9 round liner is so difficult for me.
You never use anything that
Yeah.
big. And at first when I was telling Adam when I was using like a tight 3, he's like, no, use like
Yeah.
5 at the smallest. And I was like, 5? I don't even have any 5s.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
We're just like talking 2 different languages.
Yeah.
But I've kind of like, I do have a kind of like met in the middle with a few things. I'm like, okay, like taking a little bit of what he says and a little bit of like what I'm comfortable with. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of like mushing it all together
Yep. And there's
and evolving. And I'm just going to continue to evolve too.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. That's the beautiful part about tattooing. It's like, I've only been doing this for 6 years and I'm still so much I could learn about tattooing. Yeah. So much. I was like, is this just this but without that grippy?
Yeah. Right?
It really just is. It's just the same thing but without this little like.
Are you feeling
What was the
like
price
it's the same thing as
difference?
what you usually do?
I mean, before the Black Friday sale.
I think they're about the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like $5.99 a box, and the Black Friday had them at $12.99. So I was like, well, fuck it. If they're this price, then it doesn't matter if they suck.
You ever use the mass machines?
No.
I have one. It's like a 2.5 stroke. So sometimes I'll use that for like eyeliner or lash enhancements.
Uh huh.
You can get those
And
on
I can-
Amazon.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap, but they're for permanent makeup. They can be nice, and I could see how it might be nice for like really light stipple shading.
Yeah.
Because I think I did use it on a tattoo. I don't even use gray wash because I work so light. It
Yeah.
does look gray.
Yeah.
But
That's that's what I used to do too. I would just for the gray areas, I just would lightly graze people with full black ink, and it would dry. It would dry. It would heal gray. But I switched to using gray wash at some point because I would get a tattoo back that was healed, and like randomly they would heal way darker than my normal tattoo, and I'd be like, "What?" The? Like,
what happened?
I did the same thing, but just randomly someone's body was like, "Let me have
using
all
all
that
of
ink."
these.
So that inconsistency was like too scary for me. So I was like, "All right, maybe I should practice gray wash." And I've only been using gray wash for like the past couple years, trying to figure it out.
Make your own and dilute it, or do you add white?
No, I just buy the bottles.
Oh, you buy it?
Yeah.
Nice.
'Cause I don't. That's like too much to think about.
Yeah.
Like, and I want consistency.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the whole point.
And why not?
Yeah. I am gonna let this run for a while just to see. Yeah. What I really want to do is I want to get, this is my other tattoo idea. I want those 4-point stars, you know? So like
Kind of little sparkles, or
little sparkles but big, and I want 4 of them, and I want their little horizontal lines to overlap like in a diagonal, and I want it to be the 4 gray washes
Oh, yeah.
so that I can have like a little guide,
I love that.
because I forget all
Yeah.
the time what it's gonna feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's just a thing that doesn't stick in my head. So it'd be so nice to be like, I remember now. Like
Yeah.
literally just a guide on your own arm. Yeah. I want that so bad.
Which side is this on?
Tell
Oh,
me
so
if
my
I can do
friend
it for you.
like makes his own gray wash with the white, but I feel like the
Yeah.
opacity on it, like it kind of feels a little inconsistent, but it looks like kind of thicker
Yeah.
than a regular gray wash.
Yeah.
Like it has a tone to it that I don't well, I do like the tattoo, but I don't know if I'd necessarily
Yeah.
do that for my own thing.
I feel like it's like more opaque. Like it's not like skin with gray. It's like gray. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain
I think with
My hairy leg is in there.
we all have hairy legs
It's
right
Portland.
now.
it. It's Portland. It's winter.
It's Portland
Yeah.
winter.
We're all furry grizzly bears
Yeah.
in hibernation right now. I think the reason why I've never done white with black is because all ink colors have either like a warmth or a coolness.
Sure.
And so I never wanted to have like a cool white or a cool black mixed with like the always warm dynamic blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then also that, like, how does that mix with somebody's skin tone too?
Sure.
Like if they're very yellow toned, you know, if they got undertones of like warm colors. I don't know, like my art theory
white
brain.
does not look good on me
Yeah.
because I'm like yellow.
Yeah. My art theory brain was like, no, I can't do this because there's warm blacks, there's warm whites, there's cool blacks, there's cool whites. Like that's just cool skin tones and warm skin tones. So I was like, I think just gray wash is just consistent. Again, just the consistency. That's what I like.
Do you guys have a color wheel here?
No.
That'd be a nice thing
We
to
should have a color wheel here. That's a good idea.
Well, especially for like color corrections.
Yeah.
Sometimes people need color corrections for brows and stuff like that. And it's nice to have a color wheel to see what you need to mix.
Yeah. Yeah, I met one of the past tattooers at Birdhouse tattooed freckles on themselves, but they didn't have permanent makeup ink. They just used like various browns.
From
And-
like regular?
Yeah,
Oh.
just regular tattoo ink because they were just a regular old tattooer. And after she was done, she was like, you know, I didn't actually use like the right kind of inks. I probably should have invested in some like permanent makeup ink. And I was like, I don't know.
I
see why it
literally
would
have
be any
a freckle recipe where I use 5 different pigments, and sometimes depending on like skin tones, I'll like slightly adjust it, but I'll be like small pot, like 3 drops of this, 1 drop
Yeah.
of this, warm it up with that.
Yeah.
But it's all of these browns that are meant for your face.
Yeah. Face inks.
Face inks.
We don't need those.
But they're typically lower in carbon.
Oh. Yeah, see, this stuff is good to know. This is like things that as a tattooer, I don't know this information. The general public sure doesn't know this information.
Yeah, I just
Will you do me a favor?
spend lots of
Will you
time
free
knowing-
this bit of hair from inside my glasses?
Oh, thank you.
My hair is at a really annoying length because I'm growing it out.
I'm trying to grow out the bangs.
Yeah.
Mine is an annoying length and I can't put it up yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just riding it out.
Are you growing your hair out too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta do the twist with the butterfly clips.
Oh my God.
2003.
Yes. You know, a couple years ago, my daughter was like, I really want to have the butterfly clips. And I'm like, oh, got you. I will find them. And I couldn't find them anywhere.
Really?
Yeah,
thought
everywhere
everybody's
I
doing that
looked.
now.
Exactly. Now they're everywhere. Now she's not into them. But
Oh, good. Oh.
Yeah.
No, she's not into.
yeah, it was a quick little phase.
No. I
There's your
remember
arm
going to the mall and getting the butterfly clips with my mom and going to see the movie Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh,
It's my favorite.
that's amazing.
Little sparkly clips.
did you get them at Claire's?
Probably.
Yeah.
Got my ears pierced at Claire's too.
Did you?
My
I got
grandma
my
brought
first
me.
and my second Spears to Claire's. Grand old time.
I kind of want to go to Claire's now and get my ears
Like,
pierced again.
What are they using to sanitize that little gun though?
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I really don't want to know.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. I got my second holes done like last spring, and it kind of sucked. It was. I mean, they didn't. The experience
With the
was
hollow
professional.
needle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. It was gross. I hated it. I had like. It felt like it was like sticking to my flesh as it was going through.
Yeah.
My brain, I think, slowed everything down. Like, they healed wonderfully. The artist was amazing, but I was like, I wonder how different this is from like just a quick gun to the ear.
Uh-huh.
I want to experience both now. Surprised me on how baby I was about it.
All the pain just gets worse.
It does.
Older.
But now I want to get more holes in my ears, so
What's she gonna do next?
I don't know.
I want to get a hole in my nose.
Do you?
I want to get my septum pierced. Everyone says they think I already had it because I look like a person that would just have my septum pierced, but I don't.
Yeah. You do look like someone who would just have your septum pierced.
My dad keeps asking me to take mine out. I'm like,
Really?
never gonna happen.
Mine would do the same thing. I would have to like get the flippy up one or something.
Yeah.
Like, while I go visit him, which is rarely ever, but
I've probably had it for like
would call me a
15
cow.
years. It's just a part of me.
Yeah. I had my septum pierced done when I was in art school when I was like 20 something. And then I eventually took it out. I don't remember why. I think because I was going to have like babies or something. I was going to have a baby. And I was like, I don't want them pulling my nose ring out.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And then Annalise and I got our septums done a couple years ago together for her like 16th birthday. And I was like, I don't know if I have a hole in there still. And they looked and they're like, oh yeah, there's still a hole. So they just put it back in that hole, but that hurt so much more than the original. It was so bad.
Ooh.
It hurt. It sucked. So don't take yours out. Just keep it in.
I don't even know how to. I'd have to get it out with pliers.
Yeah. I think mine too. We're not really talking about technique, but you can ask questions anytime.
Yeah.
I don't know how to, like,
I can see
teach.
that, yeah, you're like hanging your needle out a little bit further.
Uh-huh. I do like to hang my needle out. So I feel like it doesn't like splooge ink everywhere.
Yeah.
That way I can see exactly like where it's going. I typically don't go like straight in. I'm still kind of going at that like airplane on a runway. You know, like you're going this.
it's like an airplane on a runway.
This is the skin and the airplane's coming in this way. I'm not like,
Airplane on a runway. I'm like, what do you mean?
it was explained to me once that way, so it's
I
now
understand
in my
now.
head. Yeah. What else? Sometimes I go over the lines again, but mostly just to give it kind of like a sketchy look. And like building up lines with the tiny one is kind of preferred for me than going over lines with like a 5. I like to kind of like build them up like with the tiny needle.
I like to do that too.
Yeah. Because then it just gives it more of a hand-drawn look. But that's... And I also, like, my theory is that if you aren't putting a shit ton of ink in people's bodies, you know, you're just putting like the bare minimum. So you're like, a lot of these lines are very surface level. That over time, the lines aren't going to spread as much,
Sure.
you know? Like, we're
Yeah.
just putting in like just the right amount of ink. Nothing too crazy. Because the more pigment's in there, the more the body is going to have to like use
Process
to spread.
and disperse it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's why like the fine line stuff heals so gently, because we're not taking a wide needle with all that ink inside and like shoving it in. Because you know how a lot of the lines, like tattoos, will have that like bubbled look even when it's healed.
Yeah.
Like it's a very raised, it's not scarring, but it's like a raised line.
Sometimes you can feel it.
Yeah.
Like this touch, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Also old. Not that old.
Yep, I think that all that ink in there is just gonna flatten out and then just get whiter, which is, you know, not necessarily bad for most tattoos, but if you're going for really tiny, gentle lines, then you don't want to put a whole bunch of ink in there. Same with like black fill. I don't really pack a whole bunch of ink. I usually just kind of like wisp it in, so it's really light. So so glad that we found you at the pho restaurant.
Yeah, I know. Very serendipitous.
Uh-huh. If you wanted a surefire way to get people to book Flash.
I'd rather have somebody come back though than blow it out.
Yeah.
The point is to make them bleed.
We're encroaching on the ditch area. I feel that way with TikTok. I'm like, I don't know how to go back into it. Like, was it you we were talking and I was like,
Oh,
I was like messing with my lips and you're like, is there something wrong with my lips? And I'm like, no, I'm just worried that there's something wrong with my lips.
I was like, is my lip